Welcome to the Better Buy, where I give you the information you need on the stuff that you want so that you can make the better buy. And I'm laughing because this is not an Osmo Mobile, but it does say DJI on the case, and that's just cracking me up. So let me walk you through my Go carry case for my Go 3s. First off, we'll go ahead and pop this guy open. Actually, let's take the battery out. So I keep the battery pack on the back of this thing because, you know, it's Go 3s, so it's nice to have a charger with you. And then you ready for this? Watch this. 1, 2, 3. Dun, 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 dun. I know, right? It's kind of funny. So these are two glasses cases. Okay, this is Tifosi. It's my favorite running glasses. Little gray one with the blue strings goes with the blue tape here. And this is the first Go 3 that I have. Nice clean lens and everything's looking good. Love this guy. We're going to go ahead and put this right back in there. So this is the 64 gigabyte version, and that's why there's tape all over them so that I can tell the difference, because realistically, you can't. Like, you get two of these suckers, and there is no way to tell the difference unless you put some marks on them. And then this is the 128 gigabyte version. So I know this is my longer storage unit, but I've never even come close to using these up. And I keep this one in the green one because green means go. So overall, I have come to love these cameras, and I keep them in the lens cloths because it's easy to keep them cleaner that way. It protects the lenses, all that kind of stuff makes sense. Now inside here, I have basically the bare minimum that I always would use or regularly use for the Go 3s. I have one sticky mount plate, and I have one magnetic mount here that goes with it. So you have to have this part to be able to use it, but you can see this little guy just connects right on there. This little bottom pops up, and you got the sticky stuff that now lets you stick this to all sorts of stuff. So I love that. It's super simple and easy to do. I love what Insta360 has done with that. I just unscrewed that. And then obviously the magnetic mount here, okay? Then I've got the hanging mount, the chest mount, you can see, bing, bing. All right, pretty simple. And then of course the hat clip, which I love the hat clip. I use this thing for all sorts of stuff. So I've been very happy with this, very secure. Gone surfing with this, got tons of footage of me doing that. So I think overall you can trust this to be pretty secure in most situations. And then we've got the ND filters, and these guys just fit right under there. So you can see I keep the little lens cloth in there just so it's easy to keep these guys clean when I'm taking them on and off. And then we've got 8, 16, 32, and 64. And I remember in the photos, it shows these as green. Like, you see the green photos right there? Yeah, and then it's got the stuff listed. But on here, it doesn't look green to me. They look black until you turn them into the light. And then they go green. So I'm not really sure why they do that, but they do that. And it's got to do with lighting and refraction, I'm sure. Now, according to this little pamphlet here, the 8 gives you 3 f-stops, the ND16 gives you 4, the 32 gives you 5, and the 64 gives you 6. But then if you read the little information here, it says 5. So probably just a typo, but just to be aware of, something that they've done. And overall, what I found was using the 32 was actually causing the Go 3 to overcrank the ISO. It was lifting the ISO by a lot, and it was causing my footage to be grainy. At first I was like, why is this footage not that great? The solution was simple. Number one, if you take it out of auto, you'll notice it, because when I dropped the ISO down in the manual settings, my footage got really dark, and I was like, that's weird. Like, I'm at 32, it says it's good for really bright days, but my footage looks really dark. That's because when I had it in auto, it was just lifting the ISO. So just be aware of that. Obviously, if you're filming at a lower frame rate, then maybe you can get away with it. But in general, what I would say is the 16 has been really good for me for really bright sunlight. So just keep that in mind. If you're using something that's too dark of an ND filter and you have it on auto, your camera's going to do what it needs to do to get it brighter, and that might result in lower quality footage. So you notice how nice and neat everything just packs down. And if I know that I'm going to the beach, then I will bring, and I will just, it's not that hard, they fit right in. I put the GoPro mount here, and then the quick release plate just slides in right there, and then I have the little corkscrew. It's not a corkscrew, it's a little wrench thing to tighten it on the quick release plate, so that when I'm on the surfboard, I don't have to worry about it falling off. All right, and all of that fits in there neatly, but that's just not something I'm going to use regularly, so I'm not going to carry it with me. And this is my Go 3 Go setup. Originally, there was another zipper on here, but it broke, so I attached this nice little blue zipper, and I feel like it goes well with the whole thing. All right. I have been extremely happy with this entire thing. I have loved using the Go 3s. You know, I had a little bit of a rough start with them, but I've started diving into the different kinds of editing with them now. Like, I'm starting to play with the footage. Number one, I've started filming at the higher qualities. I was only doing 1080p originally, but now I'm working solely in 1440 or 2.7K, depending on what I'm trying to film. And you've got a little bit of stuff to work with the footage. Like, you can do a little bit of color grading. You can do some light exposure adjustments and things to kind of change the contrast and drop the shadows, lift the highlights, the midtones, things like that. So I wasn't originally going to do that. I wanted this to just be as simple as possible, but now I'm kind of like I'm drifting into a little bit of editing with the footage, and I think it looks good. So what I would say is, I think the Go 3 is becoming a much more usable camera for me, and I'm enjoying that. Because at first it was kind of like, quality is not as great as I would like, but I'm really loving this stinking camera. So I hope that this helped you kind of see, you know, what other people use as their little Go 3 setup. Maybe this will inspire you to go make your own. Because personally, I didn't want my camera banging around, and I was trying to like put in backpacks, stuff like that. I was like, you know, I need something that's just going to keep them safe, and this does it. So I hope that this gave you the information you needed on the stuff that you want so that you can make the better buy. This case, I'll link on Amazon. It's cheap. I think it's like 20 bucks, and you could probably get some other cases that are similar to it, but this is how I made mine work, and hopefully it'll make yours work as well. Hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.